Ollie Gordon is actually going to be today at the Big 12 Media Days in Las Vegas after his DWI arrest recently. He apologized yesterday on all of the social media accounts, his and Oklahoma State's, for his actions. But they're still sending him to Big 12 Media Days.
So dumb. So stupid.
They were talking about it this morning on Dusty and Danny when I was on. They seem to take it, LT, as it is Gundy's way of making you answer the questions for your crime.
Okay,
basically.
well,
if you made the mistake, you're embarrassed, I'm going to send you there, and you got to answer all the questions about it.
So, like right when we were signing off yesterday at noon, Taylor sent us that tweet that Ollie Gordon was going to be in Las Vegas and was going to represent Oklahoma State. And so I started to discuss it with her in the office, and to me, if you aren't going to let him answer the questions, it is a complete disaster.
Like if you just say, I'm not talking about that?
Yeah, I can't talk about that.
It's an
Next
ongoing
question.
legal issue. I can't discuss it.
It puts everybody in a bad situation. It actually becomes one of the top storylines of Big 12 Media Days. It would be really easy for Mike Gundy to say Ollie Gordon was supposed to be here, but part of his punishment is he's not going to Vegas right now to represent our team. If that's the way he does it, and that's an interesting angle, if he really opens him up to everybody to ask whatever questions, and he's got to handle it himself, which is dangerous in itself too.
Right.
And especially when Kyrie Jackson just passed away in an accident involving drunk driving.
Yep.
Now, I could see a scenario in which there's, if you guys don't know how these things work. Now, I've never been to the Big 12. I don't know if it's the same as the SEC. Actually, I think in the Big 12, they just sit on a podium. They don't go room to room. So in the SEC, the players will go room to room, and there's always a handler from each player has a handler from the school. And I could see a scenario in which the Oklahoma State handler says, hey, Ollie is going to start with a prepared statement about his ongoing legal issues here, and that will be all he can comment on. It's an ongoing case, so he can't answer. Then he does a nice apology and all that, and then you move on. That's what they would try to do potentially.
Yeah, but again, I don't think that's fair to anybody there.
I agree with you, and it's also going to be one of the major storylines coming out of this, and how does that help your program if you're Oklahoma State, right? Instead of positive storylines coming out of this, a lot of it's going to be Ollie Gordon storylines, which are not going to be positive no matter what he does.
Yeah, I was really surprised they brought it. Really surprised.
It'll be a huge story today, but then I circle back. Do you think? I mean, he's going to Big 12 Media Days. Do you think he serves a game suspension? Now, you did the day it happened.
Yeah. I mean, hell, I guess he's not going to serve any suspension. I still stick with that game. He will sit out.
South Dakota State, I think.
Yeah, the only thing that affects is possibly his numbers, and it's so difficult for a running back to win a Heisman Trophy. I don't even know if that's on the radar for Mike Gundy, but I think he will serve a one-game suspension. I mean, he's got to do something.
And the other side of that then is Mike Gundy comes in and says, look, guys, Ollie came to me, wanted to go so he could apologize publicly to everyone. I suspended him. The only reason he came to Las Vegas was because he wanted to go to take responsibility for it. That's
part of his suspension was having to answer for it.
Yeah, and Ollie has stood up. He's taken responsibility for this. He's handled it like a grown man. He's admitted his mistake.
No, don't throw me in the briar patch. Let's take the guy that just got a DUI to Las Vegas.
Yeah. Now, I don't know that they even stay the night there. In the SEC game.
Boy, I would not let my players stay the night.
In the SEC game, they land, they go to the Omni in Dallas, they get back in a car, they go back to the airport, and they fly back home. They're not even there 12 hours. I would imagine that's the way the Big 12 works too, but I don't know.
Some come in, I think, and spend the night.
If
you got an early start time, I think you stay the night, even when it was here in Birmingham.
Yeah, I know some coaches come in early sometimes because they I think Hugh Freeze has got a couple of speaking events in the state of Texas. What's that called? The
Ambush,
Tiger Prowl, whatever it is. I think he's doing Houston and then Dallas the night before. So he will probably be in a little bit early.